The great trade war between the United States and Canada has begun. And obviously, it's not great. It's really dumb, actually. It's incredibly stupid. Stupid. All right. Now, this in retaliation for Donald Trump's 25% tariff on imported Canadian goods and 10% on energy, our northern neighbor has announced its own retaliatory tariffs. There are 1,000, currently 256 items in the first tranche of tariffs that will come into force on Tuesday. The list includes oranges, fruit from Florida, home to Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort, household appliances from South Carolina and Ohio, State Senator Lindsey Graham, Vice President J.D. Vance, motorcycles and coffee from Southern Pennsylvania, which of course help get Trump in the White House. So these are pretty targeted. I feel like they're going after Republicans, right-wingers, but it's not going to be Republicans and right-wingers only that are going to be affected by these retaliatory tariffs, as well as the Trump tariffs themselves. And in fact, look, cosmetics and body care, which is $3.5 billion worth of trade, that's going to be affected. Appliances and other household items, $3.4 billion. Pulp and paper products, $3 billion. Tires, $2 billion. Plastic products, $1.8 billion. Precious gems and metals, $1.7 billion. Furniture, $1.6 billion. Wood products, $875 million. Coffee, $714 million. Grains, that's $600 million. Wine, grapes, spirits, and other products, $589 million. Cocoa products, $569 million. Tools, $560 million. Dairy, $555 million. Sugar and sugar-containing products, $542 million. Sauces and dressing, $517 million. Orange juice and fruits, $512 million. So, yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, it's going to have a pretty big impact, these counter tariffs, okay? But that's not all. I mentioned that some of these were pretty targeted, right? Well, one of them comes from Ontario, right? Which is the most populous province in Canada. They tore up a $68 million contract with Elon Musk's Starlink and had banned U.S. companies from bidding on tens of billions of dollars worth of government contracts. So now this is conservative Premier Doug Ford, who ironically posted on X, Ontario won't do business with people hell-bent on destroying our economy. Why are you then posting on X? Okay, what is this? You're still using Elon Musk's platform? Ridiculous. But anyway, he said, every year the Ontario government and its agencies spend $30 billion on procurement alongside with our $200 billion plan to build Ontario. U.S.-based businesses will now lose out on tens of billions of dollars in new revenues. They only have President Trump to blame. And there it is. Here you have conservatives in Canada that are finally getting a taste of what they were trying to bring to their own countries. You can't be out there and say like, these conservatives in Canada, they're not at all like Trump. No, they were taking inspiration from Donald Trump and running their own Trump-like campaigns. You know they were. And look, whatever happens in America eventually trickles up to Canada. Okay? And so Canadian conservatives, this is what you're voting for too. You voted for people like Donald Trump to do these things that Trump is doing. So now, Charlie Angus, a member of Canada's federal parliament, had also encouraged Canadians to stop drinking U.S. alcohol together and said, hey, I'm not going to miss American beer because, quote, it's shit anyway. I can't argue with that. It kind of is. And so I'm with you there. But that said, overall, these tariffs, this trade war is going to hurt. I live in Michigan. Canada's basically our hat. Okay. Well, Michigan voted for Donald Trump. And guess what? We're about to find out what happens when you let the leopards run free. Okay. In fact, Rashida Tlaib, a progressive from Detroit, she says working class families are already struggling with the high cost of living and unaffordable groceries. More than half of our fruits and vegetables come from Canada and Mexico. Now, currently, the Trump administration has delayed the trade war with Mexico for a month based on a deal, and there's going to be calls with Trudeau and the Canadian government and all that. But as of right now, trade war. There's retaliatory tariffs from Canada. Now, that's going to have a huge impact on Michigan because of the auto industry. It's going to be an absolute disaster. Motor vehicles and motor vehicle parts accounted for hundreds of billions of dollars worth of traded goods between, obviously, Mexico, Canada, and the United States. So any tariff that's applied, not just to the finished products, but to the different components that go into the final assembly of a car or a truck, is going to be felt big time. So hopefully you all don't need to buy a car or, to have your car fixed, because getting parts for that, it's going to cost you even more. About 165,000 workers in the state of Michigan are employed by motor vehicle manufacturers, parts suppliers. That does not include all the smaller component makers or indirect industries whose success or failure is linked to that of the auto industry. I used to work in that industry. Okay. I used to work at parts suppliers. Okay. I did some welding, via robot. Okay. I used to run one of those. So I know how much this state relies on this industry. Donald Trump is screwing us over. And for what reason? I don't know. Pretty much no reason. He's like, oh, we got to stop the fentanyl from pouring in and undocumented immigrant from Canada. I'm not saying that no drugs have ever crossed the border from Canada to the United States. Okay. Not saying that, but the seizures of drugs are so minuscule. And again, you wouldn't have that issue if there wasn't demand in this country for those drugs. So, I mean, I'm just saying, no reason to get into a trade war with one of your biggest trading partners. Okay. So I'm sorry, Canada. But hey, I guess now y'all get to finally experience, and I'm saying people in both countries, what Trump rule is going to do. So it's not too late for you, Canada, to not make that mistake and vote for a right-wing MAGA-like person. Okay? I'm hoping that maybe you look at us as sort of like, oh, maybe we shouldn't go in that direction after all, because look at the disaster that awaits us if we do. I'm just hoping that at least America might actually serve as an example to the rest of the world of what not to do. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.